I think we have three of the hottest actors that are going to be on Broadway this season.
Jeremy Piven, I'm not only known in terms of TV and film work, but also he's done a lot of stage work, particularly a great performance he did in a Neil LaBute play called Fat Pig about 4 or 5 years ago.
And since then has catapulted, to the public consciousness as Ari Gold in Entourage.
It feels like everything that I've done has kind of led to this moment. I have so much respect for the stage and for David Mamet and for Broadway that I'm just going to work hard and kind of do my best, and it's a great group of people, so I'm really excited.
I had known Raul Esparza and been a fan of his work for a long time, both in musicals, but then seeing his work in The Homecoming last year, I thought this would be a great fit.
And we have Elisabeth Moss, who's coming to us from Mad Men.
It's very exciting to make my Broadway debut, especially in a play like this that is so good, and with these actors who are so good, and they make it completely safe.
David Mamet's work for an actor is like a rite of passage. It's so premeditated in its writing and beautiful, and it's like a symphony and intricate, and it's your job to jump in there and live it, and it's all kind of laid out there for you.
I think he's the great beatnik artist of the American theater. I love the idea of getting to work with him and getting to do this stuff, and just blowing the fireworks off the place.
I mean, he's a brilliant writer, and he's just one of those writers that you almost only have to say the words. He's so good.
There's this great thing about a wide receiver in football lives in fear of the perfectly thrown pass, and in a way, David Mamet's writing is like the perfectly thrown pass, because if you drop it, it's your fault. It's not his, because he's already done all the work.
The root of the story is there's two guys who have come up in Hollywood together. One of them has become the head of production in a studio. They're trying to find the next hot project. One of them brings in a project where this big movie star is attached, and they're going to go pitch it. Then into the mix comes a temporary secretary who's asked to read this slightly more arty book, and she begins pitching to our main guy, Bobby, that Jeremy Piven's playing, the idea that that's the film they should make, that it's really about the truth of human existence versus this more commercial buddy film.
I play Karen. She's a temp secretary amongst these two boys, and she sort of represents truth and honesty and a different perspective and looking at the movie business in a different way.
Bobby Gould is, the part that Jeremy is playing is a wheeler dealer to the nth degree. He's the head of production. I'm just a producer who's trying to make it. Charlie is a guy who I think is a bit of a shark and is desperate to succeed and is really scared he's not going to. And what's really cool about the role is that, as we all do, we need our friends to push us up, and that's what he's counting on, trying to help his friend and hoping that his friend will get him where he needs to go, and then his friend betrays him, and badly.
Well, when I read it about a year and a half ago, and I was talking to David about doing the production, it had been so overshadowed originally by the phenomenon of Madonna doing the role of Karen. I read it seemed like it had been written yesterday. I mean, these are still issues of power and sex and glamour and ambition that are part of the Hollywood scene today, and part of the backstabbing and deal-making that goes on. And that's what this play is about, backstabbing, deal-making, and power.
And so when I thought about kind of putting together a younger, cast that would kind of embody the world of this play, they all seem very well suited, not only as people, but their bottom line is they're terrific actors.